Yo guys, what is going on? Got a blue flare deck profile for you guys. This is another one of the Digicross decks out of set 10. Really powerful. I honestly think it does give Crossheart a run for its money. A relatively budget deck as well. The only kind of expensive card you probably need is going to be the Sec Attack Greymons, but even this isn't completely necessary. It's more of a tech choice than anything. But as always, I'll go ahead and get into my thoughts on the deck as well as some combos and card choices. So let's go ahead and get into the blue flare list. Keep in mind this is pretty much a pure blue flare list. I'm not playing the Magnamon version, nor am I playing the Gabumon version, but both of those are really cool versions of the deck. For the eggs, I'm just playing 4 copies of Upamon. I've seen Baby Demon as well. That basically revolves around the gimmick of having an opponent having 2 or more Digimon in play. I think that's fine as well. I just like Upamon. A draw egg, I think, is the important thing. You'll find that a lot of this deck is very flexible. There's very minimum engine requirements as far as what cards you absolutely need. One of the cards I do think you need is going to be 4 copies of Gaussmon. This guy has the on deletion effect of you may play a blue flare Digimon, a level blue flare Digimon from your hand suspended without paying the memory cost. So you have 2 really powerful, actually pretty much all of your level 4 blue flares are really powerful targets for this. So 12 cards you can play off of this really broken. Definitely something you want to see turn 1. The other blue rookies I think are much more flexible. This is the only necessary one. I'm playing some Floodgates here, 3 copies of Madoki Betamon just to stop blue flare in the mirror, as well as just any other deck that's playing memory boost cards. 2 copies of Shakomon. This guy can realistically be anything else. Shakomon and Floodgates aren't really good this format. Really only good against like Gaiomon. But all the other evolution decks have like conditions that this doesn't get around or are playing things with Digicross. So like I said, this can be whatever. And then Dracomon, who I think is a really cool tech. This card searches a Drummon from your top 3 of your deck to your hand. So this searches Decadramon as well as Mailbirdmon to your hand. So that's a really cool tech. Another cards I was considering. We're going to be stuff like Strabimon to be able to search hybrids, as well as blue tamers, as well as the BT6 promo Gabumon. I was also thinking about this as well. This is another tech choice you could play. This searches blue tamers, so being able to search like your Kiriha is pretty important as well. So like I said, these 6 slots are very flexible, but just 10 rookies I think is enough for this list. Onto the blue flare card. So the level 4s, this is going to be 4 copies of Greymon. So our first blue Greymon, really powerful card here. Heart and soul of the deck. He has the on-play effect of revealing top 4 cards. Add 2 cards with blue flare and their traits among them to your hand. So keep in mind that is cards, not just Digimon. He can search Kiriha, as well as the Blazing Memory Boost, 2 really powerful cards in your deck. And then if you have Kiriha in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand instead. So being able to have that recyclability in the long game is really good. Maybe if you're going against Set Controller, Yellow Hybrid or something, that's really important. On deletion save as always for the Digicross Digimon. And then once per turn when attacking, if the Digimon has blue flare in its traits and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. So being able to get Metal Greymon to attack twice with Rush and punishing your opponent for going wide is really powerful. And then I am also playing 2 copies of the Starter Deck Greymon as well. Keep in mind the Digicross conditions listed on Metal Greymon here. Your boss monster, which I'll talk about in a little bit, is going to be Greymon plus Mailbirdmon. Greymon can be any Greymon, just refers to the name, does not matter the color specifically. So this is a cool choice as well. Being able to check 2 with Rush is really broken for a 3 cost. Like, that's just insane, guys. So this Greymon really strong. So that's going to do it for the blue flare searcher. We've also got the next blue flare card is going to be 4 copies of Mailbirdmon. So this guy, again, the Digicross requirements for Metal Greymon requires him plus a Greymon. On play, if you don't have, if you do have a Kiriha in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand. So similar effect to the Greymon there. But if you don't have a Kiriha, you can play 1 from your hand without paying the memory cost. Kiriha is your memory setter tamer here. Really essential part of the deck. So being able to just play a tamer for free is really powerful, especially if you're playing this off of your Gaussmon. Like you can usually like digivolve your Gaussmon for free, swing into your security, maybe draw a card, and then play the suspended, get its on play, which is the most broken part of Gaussmon, is the fact that you can get the on plays, which is really crazy. So Male Birdramon, really powerful. And then the last blue flare level 4 is going to be 4 copies of Decadramon. This card is really crazy, guys. So he does cost 5. Again, you can cheat him out with the Gaussmon. He's got the on play trigger, draw 1, and then for each Digimon your opponent has in play, draw 1 card. So you basically, like, if your opponent has one guy in play, like let's say their field here is like a Gaussmon, you're playing the mirror, I guess. You play this for 5, or maybe you play it off a Gaussmon. You trigger, draw 1, and then you draw another card because your opponent's got 1 Digimon on field. If you've got 3 Digimon on field, you're drawing 1 off the first effect and then 3 off the second effect. It's a really crazy power card that can get you a lot of advantage off of just a single card. So Decadramon, really crazy, and then he also comes into play with the Decagramon as well. Last card here, just 1 copy of Kumamon. Sometimes you just need an extra swing for game. Now for the level 5s, you are going to have your boss monster of the deck, 4 copies of Metal Greymon. Once again, a blue Metal Greymon is really crazy, but this card has a couple of really strong effects. So first of all, he is a Digicross core requirement Digimon. If you guys need a refresher on how that works, you basically get to stick any amount of the required Digimon, being Greymon and Male Birdramon, from your hand or your battle area underneath this Digimon to reduce the play cost by 2 for each card placed. So like if you've got your Male Birdramon and your Greymon maybe in your hand here, you can just play this, you declare Digicross, and then you stick these underneath. Paying the 7 cost minus 4 is going to be only a 3 cost there. And then once you play him, he has the on-play effect. This Digimon gains Rush. Then if Digicrossing, if you've stuck stuff underneath them, 3 of your opponent's Digimon with Digivolution cards less than or equal to this card's Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's turn. So typically you'll only have 2 materials on him. That's pretty much when you're Digicrossing, you're only going to have these 2. So pretty much 3 of their Digimon with 2 or more materials cannot attack. Being able to free stuff without requiring them to have no materials is just crazy. We've already power crept blue hybrid, and then you've of course got Rush, so then you can go ahead swing. Maybe if they've got 2 or more Digimon, you can then freeze another Digimon with Male Birdramon, and then unsuspend with the Greymon, and then attack again. And then of course if he dies, he does have the material save 2 keyword, which means you can just save 2 of his materials, which you'll pretty much always gonna have 2 materials, put them underneath your Kiriha, and then use them again all over again the next time for another copy of Metal Greymon or something. Of course, being able to add him back with the Male Bird, and the Greymon of course is really broken as well. So Metal Greymon, really crazy card. And then our other really powerful boss monster is going to be 2 copies of Decker Greymon. I think 2's enough. 3 is probably fine as well. I probably wouldn't play more than that. It can get a little bit bricky, and you've got a lot of searchability in this deck. So I think 2 Decker Greymon's fine. But he has a couple of really cool effects. He's got an on-play and a Digicross requirement where he requires Metal Greymon for plus Decker Greymon. But keep in mind, when you Digicross something, it only takes the top card of the Digimon. So if you say, like, let's say last turn you Digicross the Metal Greymon and you like finish attacking with it, now this turn you want to Digicross the Decker Greymon, and you're going to use like your Metal Greymon plus maybe a Decker Greymon in your hand, you're only gonna put these 2 underneath, well I guess in this order, and then these will go to the trash. So it's a little bit unfortunate it's that way. So typically you always have the scenario where this is a follow-up and you evolve it for 2. That's pretty much always better, like material-wise as well as like efficiency-wise, because you're only paying 2. And then he's got the 1 Digivolving effect of place 1 Digimon card with blue flare in its traits. So typically in this scenario you would like place a Decadramon underneath, and then you get to freeze a Digimon, just any Digimon, if you've got Decadramon in his traits. And then of course he's got Armor Purge as well, so then maybe you're going to swing security, freeze something else with Male Bird, unsuspend, and then you hit something big in security or like a Guy Force or something, he'll come off because you Armor Purge, and then you can maybe swing again with the Greymon or something like that. So Decker Greymon, really crazy card here for our big boss monsters. Now, that is it for the Digimon. Playing a lot of Tamers and option cards. We are going to be playing 3 copies of our Kiriha Aonuma. This guy is really crazy, being able to have the Memory Setter effect, and then also the Taiki effect where you basically suspend him when you would Digicross Cross, you can use materials underneath it is really, really crazy. Being able to, of course, work with Metal Greymon. Metal Greymon, like, swings, he dies, you stick his materials underneath, you suspend Kiriha, play another Metal Greymon or something like that. So very, very essential. I think 3 is fine. It's very, very searchable in the deck. 3 is definitely enough. Being able to play this for free off of your memory boost is really crazy as well. And I'm playing a little bit of an oddball here, 2 copies of Analog Youth. I just wanted a little bit more searchability in the deck. Setting up your trash is nice as well, because if you've, like, maybe if you had a Metal Greymon that you don't need early game, you mill it with the Analog Youth and you can get it back later. And then if your Metal Greymon dies or your to security or a card effect or something, you get material save, but then you also get to pop another egg and gain memory back off of the youth. So that's really, really cool. And then for the option cards, playing the 4 copies of Blazing Memory Boost, this card is absolutely insane. Playing this for 5, you reveal 6 cards, and then add 2 blue flares and play a Kiriha from amongst those to your hands. Now, there is a couple of things I do want to point out about this card. First of all, as many of you may know, the not pre-release version of this card says Christopher Aonuma, not Kiriha. So keep that in mind. They're the same card, but it's just a translation error. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is that the add effect is not optional, so you have to add 2. If you only reveal 1, you add 1, but if you reveal 2, you have to take them. You have to take 2, so that effect is not optional. And also, playing Kiriha is conditional on the first part, so if you add the 2, if you choose to do the optional effect, it's the full effect of adding the cards as well as playing Kiriha. So you can't, like, add 2 and not play Kiriha, or not add 2 and play Kiriha. You have to either do both, or if you whiffed on the reveal, you do neither. But that's kind of just something I wanted to point out. And another thing is, if, like, let's say you reveal like 5 like cards that aren't blue flare, like 5 blue flares and just 1 Kiriha, you have to add this and you can't play it because the add happens first and the add is mandatory. So that's just another thing to keep in mind if you're playing this deck. So cool little card interactions. And then lastly, playing, again, just more consistency cards. If 3 blue memory boost, I think is fine. You could probably cut an Analog Youth if you wanted to for a 4th one, but I actually kind of like the Analog Youth in this list as well as the blue memory boost. I like seeing multiples of each. And then for some other really cool option cards, 2 copies of Rattlestar I think is really, really powerful this format. This returns one of your opponent's level 5 or lower to their hand, mainly the Cross-Heart Digimon, like Cross 5 is Cross 4, not being able to trigger the material save, wasting your opponent's materials, and then saving yourself security as well. If they're spamming the field, you get to just bottom deck one of their Digimon instead. So that's really, really powerful. And then lastly, the broken one of Ice Wall is just good in any deck. So guys, that is going to do it for this pure blue flare list. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of the list. I'll probably have some gameplay linked down in the description as well if you're interested in that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.